This Vancouver Canucks trade report is ridiculous after Jim Rutherfords spoke to the Canucks media following their season, revealing the future plans and the possibility of reuniting Quinn, Jack, and Luke Hughes on Vancouver. We get multiple trade reports revealing some insane details. We're going to break down this, the trade proposals, and a lot more in this episode, and you're not going to want to miss that. Before we get into that, if you're part of the 62.8% that's not subscribed yet, and you're enjoying this daily Canucks content, look no further as we'll keep you up to date on everything to do around this team. So go down and hit that free subscribe button. It helps us out a bunch. And in return, we'll give you updates from all around the team in this hectic offseason. But with that today, we got off straight into the first topic today, where we do see a trade report coming from Bleacher Report. And I'm going to link this down in the description if you want to read through it. But it says a win-win trade package for the Hughes brothers between the Devils and Canucks. Now, as a Canucks fan, looking at this at first, I said, perfect. Let's go in and look at the possibilities. And there are 3 reports within this article, which I'm going to break down in this episode. Now, like I said, looking at this at first, I'm like, awesome. What is it going to take to get Jack and Quinn Hughes back on the same team together and bring Luke in as well? But the first report coming out, and number 1, was Dougie Hamilton to the Vancouver Canucks. The first half has me. Then it says Quinn Hughes to the New Jersey Devils. Now, if the Vancouver Canucks make a trade like this, I'm burning a jersey. This would be absolutely ridiculous. And listen, I'll touch on Dougie Hamilton. I think he's an awesome player who brings a lot to a team as well. A right-handed shot, a big body, 6'6", from Toronto, Ontario. I know a lot of viewers watching this love their Canadian-born boys, so he would be one of them. But with Dougie Hamilton, doing this trade for Quinn would be stupid. I mean, looking at him, yes, he does great. 40 points in 64 games. He was injured last season, 20 points in 20 games. Dougie has had a lot of successful career over his stretch, but the biggest thing is making this trade for Quinn Hughes would just be insane. I mean, listen, Dougie Hamilton is signed to a $9 million contract. This contract extends for quite some time. Going into this offseason, we will see year 5 starting next year. So he does have a couple of years left. He is 31 years old, 35 at the end of this deal. So his last big deal. As I said, if you can bring in Dougie Hamilton and not move out Quinn Hughes, yes, go for it. This would be absolutely awesome for the Vancouver Canucks. I mean, looking at this team, if you did a trade and had Hughes, Dougie Hamilton, Pettersson, Hronek, Pettersson, and Mancini, this would be awesome. But if you remove someone like Quinn Hughes from a lineup like this, you would be stuck with Marcus Pettersson, Dougie Hamilton, Hronek with someone like DPD or Myers playing on his offside. Then you need to figure out how to make this team competitive again without the best defenseman in the NHL. And yes, I understand. There's a lot of speculation going around, a lot of reports. Quinn Hughes does only have 2 years, which would be next year and the year after, left on its contract, year 4 of 6 at the current moment. Next year will be year 5 of 6. But Quinn Hughes is currently a Canuck. You have the best defenseman in the National Hockey League. With Quinn Hughes on the back end, this trade would be ridiculous. And if the Canucks did it, I could see an uproar happening. A lot of fans would stop tuning in to the team, in my opinion, unless it was we have to do this because Quinn's going to walk. This is a trade you do not do every day of the week, and then you don't do it again the following week. But with this, we do get into the second one, and this is where it gets a lot better for Canucks fans, where we do see Tom Willander to New Jersey Devils for Luke Hughes to the Vancouver Canucks. Now, this trade would make sense in a lot of ways. Right now, we know all the reports coming out. If you missed the video, we did record a video just yesterday on the ongoing situation with Tom Willander, how the Canucks and him are supposedly fighting over $200,000 on his contract. He's still not signed, playing in Sweden. But if the Canucks wanted to move on from their top prospect in Tom Willander to bring in Quinn's brother and Luke Hughes, this would make a ton of sense. With Luke Hughes, we know he's very young. He's still very good. He has a lot to grow. 21 years old, turning 22. In about 100 days, but 71 games played, 7 goals, 37 assists for 44 points. He is someone that would bring so much to the Canucks team, not only offensively on the back end, not only is he young and a lot to grow, but this adds stability on the future of Quinn Hughes with the Vancouver Canucks. This trade, in my opinion, does make the most sense and probably the most logical way. The Vancouver Canucks could acquire Luke Hughes. Now, you might need to add in a bit of a sweetener as you're prying out another Hughes from New Jersey, which kind of loses a bit of their leverage in the situation where the Canucks are trying to keep Quinn Hughes on the team, but Tom Willander and a draft pick does seem like fair value, but with the Devils, once again, it's getting a little ridiculous because I don't think they want to give up one half of their leverage to try to draw Quinn onto this team in 2 years. And listen, I hope they do get this trade done, because in that way you get Luke. You have the leverage back in your favor, but we know this team is going to be very actively trying to keep him, and I would not be surprised and I would not be upset with a trade like this. As I said, 21 years old, he has a lot to grow, a lot to bring to this team, but it does continue on where we do see question marks to New Jersey for Jack Hughes to Vancouver. Now with Jack, he is obviously the hardest piece for the Canucks to acquire. Jack Hughes is someone that has scored 40 goals. We've seen him score over 70 points multiple times. Jack Hughes is a first-line center, a franchise center if you want to put it that way, that could build a lot with this Canucks team and add a lot of value. Now, doing a trade like this, you're going to have to give up a lot more than we see right here with Tom Wilner to the Devils for Luke Hughes. We would see maybe multiple draft picks. We know the Canucks have first-round picks over the next 3 seasons from 2025 to 2027. They have a couple seconds, a couple thirds. This might take your full draft pile of picks to acquire Jack Hughes on this team. You would have to throw in top prospects like Jonathan Lekermacki and Tom Wilner to probably get this done. And once again, I don't understand why the Devils would move on from their first-line center in Jack Hughes. Luke Hughes, who's a young piece of building on this team. I know the Devils are going through a lot of injuries. We're seeing right now with Jack Hughes just being out with the Devils right now, not playing in the back-to-back playoffs for the team. So it would get interesting, and maybe we see this team go out and the Canucks just saying, hey, listen, we already have the best Hughes brother in Quinn. We could go out, we can reunite these guys, but it does get interesting on the Devils standpoint, where I don't think they're going to do this. Yes, you can throw the world at these guys. You can throw in Elias Pettersson. You can throw in Tom Wilner, a couple draft picks, and you get all 3 Hugheses. But from the reports we're seeing, from the trade packages, this would be very tricky on the Canucks end. And once again, I don't know if the Devils want to wait, as soon as I can find the screenshot, to wait out all this time. It's 2 years from now when Quinn hits the open market. The Canucks could offer him the world and more to stay with this Canucks team. If he ends up staying, it's going to get very tricky, because if he signs, he's going to be with this team for however long as he signs. But this leaves the Canucks in a situation as well where they need to figure out, hey, do we try to get aggressive? Do we want to go out and give all the pieces to keep our franchise player within this lineup? Not only the best blue liner in the NHL, but one of the best players in the NHL on this Canucks team before he retires. Canucks need to figure out what they're going to do, what management is going to do. I mean, what's your guys' thoughts on this? Listen, I know from the reports, this right away, you had us in the first half, but once you start getting into Dougie Hamilton, it would take a lot more. Canucks fans, listen, I know Quinn is most likely not going to be moved. What would it take, in your standpoint, to bring in, to get Quinn off this team? I mean, listen, I would start with Nemec, Dawson Mercer, multiple first-round picks, a roster player, and even more, but I don't think this is going to happen. I think the Canucks need to get aggressive and do whatever it takes to keep Quinn on this team 2 years from now and into the future. But if you enjoyed this, make sure to go down and leave a comment. Leave a comment on everything I talked about. I know this is an insane topic, but with these reports, it's going to happen all season long and for the next 2 years until something is figured out. Go down and leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, share this with your friends. We'll be back with another episode, so keep your eye out for that. But I've been your host, Mark. Bye and take care.